Hey everybody, and welcome back. It's been a couple of days. I got a lot on at the moment, so trying to do my best to get every second day or so. And I hope you guys are doing well up there. Man, bit of pullback in the market ahead of the US elections. So I thought we'd talk about the US elections. Obviously, 5th of November. Obviously, people are voting. We had some last polls. We're going to look at that too, to see where the polls are at. And of course, Trump looking good. I think at the moment, momentum of Harris. Now, obviously, we know that Trump is for freedom. Harris will be for authoritarianism. They're basically going to try and do what they do in China and other countries to put that into the West. So people will lose their freedoms and then think it's, if they're progressives, they'll think it's a good idea until it's too late. And then they'll realize, okay, sorry about that. We lost our freedoms. It's very easy to lose your freedoms with these progressive lawmakers and globalists and, of course, the Marxists that are in power. They don't care about people. They have no empathy. There's full of narcissists in there as well. So it really is probably the most epic battle we've got coming up for, the next 25 to 100 years. I mean, it really is of a major significance. So hopefully Trump can win. And then he's got to pull down all the mechanisms and infrastructures and things like that on not only in the United States, protecting the Constitution, but also in the world as well. With the global institutions. So there's a lot of work to be done if he does get in. Obviously, the deep state will be after a big time. Harris, of course, just a puppet. You can just replace her with anybody else. That's just a front person for their stuff. So really, big freedom versus authoritarianism battle. And of course, once you lose your freedoms, it's very hard to get them back. So this is that important. So yeah, Trump for freedom, Harris for authoritarianism. Now, the other thing, of course, is the markets, right? Trump's pro-crypto. He's going to get rid of the leadership and really give clear regulations, probably drop some of the trivial cases, stop lawfare with crypto, and put it back where it belongs. And, of course, Harris pretends that she's going to do that, but, of course, is going to actually do the opposite, right? So more oppression, more chaos there in the crypto market. So pretty interesting. Now, let's get into the chat there. That's my opening spiel. We're obviously going to get into Pulsechain and TitanX markets as well as general crypto. So let's see where we got here. We got Wookie in the house there. Yeah, boy, good to see you, Wookie. And we got Craig as well. Morning, Super, and everybody. Hey, Craig, always a pleasure. Good to see you in the house. Who else has jumped in here? What's it? We are like the Donald. We are back, baby, says Wookie. That is true. That is true. Fight, 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 says Brennan. Absolutely. Fight, fight, fight. This is huge. Now, we have our mainstream media in good old New Zealand. They're all full of progressives and absolute propagandists. They just been hitting Trump for years and years now. Was it 2014, 15? They've been doing the typical stuff. While they're destroying New Zealand's society, they also paint Trump as the monster. Yet he is the one who's actually for freedom. And I think there's less and less people falling for that propaganda. We've definitely seen a move to independent media and things heading in the right direction. But we've got a long fight to do to make sure that we win there. You've got to actually get out and vote too. That's pretty important. Hexavator and how's that? Howdy, folks. Hey, good to see you, Hexavator. Hope you're doing well. Craig says, nice haircut, Super. I appreciate that. Thanks very much, Craig. Yeah, I haven't got my cap on today. And I've got the slick hairdo there. Trying to look cool. Look cool there. It's funny. I actually got one of those little clay pot things with the hair stuff. I haven't had that since I was probably in the 20s. So there we go. That was quite funny. What out there? Wookie says, looking good, Super. I appreciate that, Wookie. Thanks so much. Wookie's also doing pretty well with his golf there. And we've got a real fitness thing going on in the Discord at the moment. So if you join our Discord, that's one of the topics we're talking about is getting fit and all that. So more and more of us are really trying to get in shape for the bull run, Conda says no hat. WTF. Yeah. Pretty funny. But we got the Superman. We got the Superman in the house. All right. So let's give a look at it. Let's get into some of the markets and see where they're heading at the moment. Now, obviously, there's no stock market today. And we've obviously got interest rate cuts coming up as well. Not just US election, but interest rate cuts. So that's two big things coming up. So let's have a look. Actually go to there. Actually, we'll go there. Now, I just wanted to talk about, we're going to come to the Bitcoin returns, but at the moment, we've got Bitcoin back under 70K, $69,000 Bitcoin down 1%. Bitcoin dominance at 57.74%. And let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment, $2,463, down 1.5%. BNB at $560, down 1.8%. Solana at $163, down 1.9%. XRP down 1.4% at 50 cents. ADA at the moment is down 3.5% at 33.5 cents, and Litecoin down 3.5% as well, 67 cents. So they're kind of some of the leaders there in the market. Having a quick look at a Bitcoin. Now, get in the chat there if you got anything you want to talk about. Get in the chat and we'll talk about some of those things, because we've got a bit of free time today, and it's since I've been off a couple of days. They're doing some, some life stuff, so definitely get into that. Yeah, so this is the chart at the moment. So we had a nice little rally. Remember, we rallied all the way from 58,900 back on the 10th of October, all the way up here to 73,650 on the 29th. So it was a pretty nice little run out the October period, which gave us pretty nice looking returns for the month. And we just started, 25% gains in 19 days. So it's pretty good. Obviously started to eat into some of that gain at the end of October and starting into November there. So that's where we are at the moment. Today we've got as low as 67,444 on Bitcoin. But we've still got the golden cross played out. We almost had that death cross. Remember, we avoided that back in September, mid-September, but we have continued on up. So not too bad, right? Not too bad. So you can see that playing out. That's the sort of the daily there. We've been up at this level, since maybe around about 28th of February, we've been up at this elevated level. So, and of course, Bitcoin dominance over Ethereum's been heading up to that point where we may start to get altcoin season. So we're still looking at that picture. And of course, we've got the US election is upon us. So we finally got here. Look at that. US election 5th there, only 24, 48 hours away, is it? So I'm always a day ahead, right? And good on New Zealand. So I've got to take that into account. So 5th of November, and then we got interest rate cuts on the 7th, which we're expecting 25 basis points last time we checked. So I don't think that's going to be any different. So let's see where we go. Now, obviously, with interest rates, we're going to get cheaper money, and of course, people want to get a better return, so they look for risk assets. And of course, crypto really is still waiting for that big bull market rally, which we feel like is at our doorstep at the moment still. If Trump wins and we do get a clean election, obviously we're expecting a lot of Democrats, cheating, all this usual stuff they do. And then the media pretend that there's no cheating going on, all that sort of stuff. So, we've seen mail-in ballot boxes get put on fire. We've seen all sorts of chaos. Lines in the voting booths that have signs to put up to try and stop voting, and particularly red areas. All sorts of carry on going on. So we'll see where that all heads up. Their Dominion machines as usual. So we'll see where that all heads. And and of course, swing states, they're trying to not get the election results out for days and days and days, and flip the election, flip the results, things like that. Suddenly trucks come in the middle of the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. So all that chaos, we'll see where it all heads. And so we're coming out through there. So big deal. And could this be, if Trump gets a clean victory here, certainly got the momentum behind him, then it's up to the races. Now, it's not just about crypto. If the Democrats win this and particularly get enough control, then we're heading for a terrible future. Really, it's going to be difficult. So they're going to be closing in the loops on authoritarianism. People, even in the UK, you're seeing people limit the geolocations where people can live. In China, they've got that, right. If you're born somewhere, you've got to get special permission to be able to move, and all sorts of stuff like that. They're going to try and do it here through the guise of fake climate change, right? So I've studied climate change for decades. It is definitely fake. And it's so let's see where it heads. They're going to use it to control. It's not about climate. It is about control. So let's see where that goes. Fingers crossed that Trump does win. A lot is sitting on the line. A lot for the world. A lot for world peace. There was no wars under Trump, remember? And of course, he's probably the only one that can stop these wars at the moment. And of course, also for freedom, and also crypto, right? Pro-crypto president. And particularly probably good for Pulsechain, right? The court case against Richard Hart, which is also already looking very strongly in Richard's favor, I would say. We're expecting an answer from that in 30, 60 days, or maybe 90 days. So we'll see where that goes. But so far, it was pretty stellar on the court case the other day on the 31st. So that is where we are at the moment. Now, looking at the view moving forward, this is still in play, right? Still got the bull market cycle, 820 to 870 days. So nothing really changed there. Trump victory could be absolutely huge. It's going to be better for the economy, right? So obviously Trump has very good economists around him. So if we don't get that, we're going to have idiotic economists in the Democrats. Of course, the economy could tank really hard, especially after the interest rates high. So we're going to need good supply and demand economists under Trump, which did a great job last time to help get jobs and growth really moving forward there and protecting the U.S. economy, right, rather than siphoning it off to the rest of the world. So that is the big deal there. U.S. is the big consumer, and we need that to really be bullish. Now, we're still heading potentially, if we get Trump victory, we could have a quick re-rate in crypto. We're currently just under 70K. We could get this 100K in December. Definitely doable easily. And of course, then maybe once we get into March, in towards March, April, we could get up to potentially 150 to 180K. If not, later in the year, right? So that's kind of the play. And definitely that leaves $250,000 in view for this bull market cycle as well into 25, maybe at the end of maybe March, April, or at the end a double top, maybe in the third quarter of 25. So things are looking pretty good with interest rate cuts and US president win. Things will just get really good. Funds will flow in big time, and on we go, right? On we go to the upside. So I do still think we're still at this at the doorstep of this big rally, parabolic rally, and that's when the magic money is made. We've had a nice little pullback in terms of the US election, and that's where we are at the moment. So some nice little buying entries there. Now, looking at the monthly returns for Bitcoin, we can see that October we had 10.76%, September 7.29%, and now November we've started off negative 1.7%. But remember, October was also started off negative at about the same amount. So let's see where November gets after the Trump and Harris election, and of course the Trump victory, huge for crypto. Now, even if Trump doesn't win, there could be still that rally with interest rate cuts and money fund coming through. So it's definitely plausible, just not at the same level, just not the same magnitude. And it's probably an order of magnitude difference there. And that could be short-lived. I mean, the casualty is still going to be freedom, so it's a pretty big casualty if we don't get that. Now, of course, December, like I say, we could definitely hit up to that 90K, maybe into January, 100K there. So definitely looking not too bad. Remember last year, we had 8.8% positive in November and 12.18% positive. And that was on the back of October being 28.5% positive for Bitcoin returns. So fingers crossed we get the same sort of green candles all the way, right? All the way. All right. So, and you can see previous this at the beginning of this year, we had 43% and a 16% gain in crypto at the beginning of this year. So it'd be nice to see that for that next level up, 150, 180K on Bitcoin. And of course, altcoin season in play, particularly that ETH Bitcoin ratio, right? Now, Ethereum at the moment, obviously been pretty weak, still in this death cross that we've had. We've had this death cross for some time, 30th of August. And of course, we haven't really benefited much from anything really for this. So we're still just chiming around between 2,300 and maybe 2,750. And we're currently at the bottom of that range, 2,453. So a good place to pick up Ethereum at the moment on the US election. That's kind of where we are, waiting for altcoin season as well. So that kind of brings us to Pulsechain. Before we do that, though, let's get into the chat, see if there's any more comments. Get your comments in and make it lively. That's all we can say. X-Grader says, make accounts grande again. Absolutely do that. I like that. We got Wookie now says, join the strategy club today with Wookie's amazing link. Yeah, definitely join up. Only $35 a month. Very, very good value. And we're looking at multi-chain opportunities, particularly Pulsechain, TitanX, X1, and things like that. So lots of cool things happening in that space. Vault says, never a dull moment in crypto. A Lotus and Eden. Yeah, definitely bullish about that. And I know there's been some issues with Lotus, but apparently they've been working around some of those contracts. Let us know in the chat there what some of those details are. I haven't managed to catch up with that. But definitely Vault, we're going to be talking about that later on. All right, let's get into Pulsechain and talk about this. Bam. In fact, I just realized I haven't even got the Pulsechain summary up, so let's do that before I get into the charts. Once again, if you've got anything you want to talk about, let us know in the chat there. Anything you've heard that I'm not covering that you think's of value, put that in as well. Get a bit of a chit chat there. A big shout out to Rags. I think Rags Rich has been doing a great job, or AKA Brandon. Doing a great job out there, Brandon. So doing some good stuff, in terms of development and doing some good YouTube stuff lately. So big shout out to him. Day 541. Let's get into it. Right, so we got day 541, almost the end of the day, right? We've got about 43 minutes to go. We've got the Pulsechain price at 0.0463, down 4.3%. Pulsex at 0.0262, down 4.7%. The Pulsechain price is at 46% of the mean sacrifice price, and the Pulsex at 26%. Looking at the buy and burn, we're heading up 1,054 billion, and that's 5.25%, almost 5.25% of the Pulsex in public hands as it being bought up and burned. Incentive token $1.87, down 5.33%. And we haven't had an update on supply. It doesn't seem to be updating. Hex there at the moment, 1.25 penny on Pulsechain, down 4.28%. Gwei at the moment is quite cheap. So if you got Hex in stakes at the moment, it's like what, 3 Gwei today, 4 Gwei, pretty good day if you got Hex maturing with the Hex stakes or Hex miners, because it's going to be about as low as you can get just about. We got EHEX there is at 1/1800th of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is 1.43 cents there at the moment. So that is the place to be. Now it looks like Pulse is the best, 4.29%. Now that is day 541. Let's have a quick look at the stats before we get into some of the charts on Pulsechain, and then we're going to move to TitanX later on. Stay tuned for that. So yeah, we got 200,000 beats, so a little bit higher than normal. 0.3 of a penny for a Pulsex swap. There's only 3 Gwei on Ethereum at the moment, so Pulsechain is 775 times cheaper than Ethereum. Moving to the validators, obviously Pulsechain is a full system state copy of Ethereum based on the 10th of May last year, and we've got full validators, validating the blockchain. 48,689 validators at the moment. Finally, let's move to the bridge, see what money is coming. This is kind of the health check, right? Now, I did a stream the other day, a couple of days ago. We're sitting around about 107.5 million. We're down just below 103 million today. So it's come back down a bit, obviously, with ETH, and we've got ETH down here, probably down. We got Wrap Bitcoin down there. I see the DAI's gone down too, and EHEX, of course, down as well. So not too surprising there. So it looks like down a bit on everything there. And we're sitting just below 103 million, but still over 100 million. So that's something to be, happy about. And things could really be kicking off in a couple of days with the US election and interest rate cuts. So that is pretty much it on that. Let's have a quick look at the charts. We're going to have a look at Hex on Pulsechain. Let's do that. Then we're at 1.25 pennies, as we say. Let's have a look at these moving averages. Let's go full. Oh, we actually got the RSI on the daily. It's currently at 48, so a nice little spot to be there for a nice little rally. We've got this bullish cross, right? So we have the 50-day. That's the yellow line. Moving over the 200-day moving average. So this is a bullish golden cross, and we're bouncing off right now, bouncing off the 13 EMA. And that's hopefully we'll get this cross, because it's a little bearish on short term, and we've seen that come into play. But hopefully that's a little bounce off there into glory, right, with the US election. So I think Hex is looking pretty good for that next move in this chart. So not bad at all. And yeah, we've got to get back up to 2 cents, and maybe we could get up to 3 cents from here on the next move. So 1.25 penny, maybe up to 2-3 cent range, kind of the near term there as well. So that's kind of where we are on Hex. Looking at the 4 hourly quickly, the RSI has got plenty of room to move to the upside. We're a bit below the moving averages, but I think on the day there, it's looking pretty good. We get a good US election result in the next day or two for that to really do some magic. The old Hex magic. Remember 13 parabolas? Remember that? That was fun. All right, so that is Hex. I won't go through the other charts at the moment, but I do think obviously they're all pretty good pickups at the moment. Pulsex in particular, I do like. Let's jump over to stablecoins. At the moment, we got the Sunny Meal stablecoin. Man, it's gone up in value actually. It's at 63 cents. Remember that was actually quite weak. It's supposed to be $1.60, right? That's the target. It's kind of the equivalence of a meal pack. Now you can only get these in Europe, and apparently they're amazing for weight loss and nutrition. So I haven't had them, of course, but this is the case here. Got down to 33 cents, back up at 63. So nice little move there. Now we were expecting something like $20 million to come over, and I think Hex Scout was talking about that. I haven't managed to read anything up on that, but if you do know stuff about the Sun Mini Meal stablecoin, it's not really stable like $1. It's pegged. It's supposed to be pegged at $1.60 to the price of the meal. Let's see how that goes. So I think that's something we're going to keep a lookout for. Hopefully we'll get some more intel on that. Yeah, everything else is pretty normal. PDI at the moment at just under 2800th of a penny. Not doing too much there. So have a quick look at PDI. Obviously one of the speculative stable coins. And of course, all the smart contracts got copied over to Pulsechain. People trying to get those active. Is Richard Hart doing it? We'll see. Still open-minded about that. But that's kind of where we are on the chart. Just humming around, right? That's the 1 cent mark, that orange line above there. We're well short of that. We've got a big gap for quite some time, but we have come up. We have come up from the bottom. So we're down at 1300th of a penny. We're now at just below 2800th of a penny. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Obviously, what else? Let's go to influencer coins. Nothing much happening here, but we are going to keep a mention of SolidX. This is Fire Whale, right? Randy Halasky's friend. We do have the crash game coming apparently from DragonX founder Eric. And that's hopefully by Christmas, I think is when that's expected with audits done. And we might see some magic there with the old SolidX. Hopefully we're going to have Mafia game launched by December. So we have Crash and Mafia game coming to Pulsechain at the same time. That's going to be fun and bullish for crypto on Pulsechain, especially if we've got this rally going to Bitcoin rally to 90K or more. So yeah, let's keep a lookout on that. Definitely possible accumulation one. What else are we going to say? Let's have a quick look at Mafia while we're talking about it. Mafia just tapered off at the moment, so probably a good chance to pick up a little bit of Mafia. I just noticed my Pulse Mafia has fallen off the chart here for some reason, but maybe it's the volume. But 00089 on BNB Mafia at the moment, down 2.4%, so some nice pickups there. Let's have a look at the overall. We didn't look at Hex derivatives. Yeah, nothing is really going on the Hex derivatives at the moment. They're all just following the market. Let's go to Pulsechain, have a look at the overall volumes. Then we're going to get into TitanX ecosystem after Pulsechain. Let's have a look. We got 11.3 million volume, so it really is on a low day. We are coming off the weekend, of course, still a weekend in the United States. So yeah, it's Monday here, of course, 12:24 in the afternoon. We've got 280,000 transactions at the well. So a light on the volume, but coming off the weekend, not too bad for Pulsechain. And let's have a look at some of the big movers here. So we've got SBX at the moment. This has been around for 26 days. That is up 145%. Haven't really checked much of that. Hex Diamond, man, this thing has been coming around a couple of times. It's up 53% today, so pretty nice there with Hex Diamond. I haven't seen the developer. He used to come in the chat quite often, but I haven't seen him for a while. Pulse, what are these Pulse ones here? I'm not sure what those are. We got a launch token here up 6%. Hex Orange address up 3%. So there's a little bit of gainers there. I'm not really sure what these this Pulse one is supposed to be. But that's popped up there. It's only been around for 10 hours. So when someone's trying to pump their bags there with that, it's got a little bit of liquidity on that one. So that is pretty much a Pulsechain. I don't know if there's too much else to say. I know that Magic Hat Ride still got their, I think, was it their, I'm just trying to remember their DApp that they've got on testing at the moment. So we'll keep a lookout for that. I just can't remember the name. So skip my mind. If anyone remembers, get in the chat and let us know. So that is Pulsechain before the election. What will it do afterwards? What will the court case do? We shall find out. Great stream from him today, says Wookie. Rags to Richards. Yeah, they're doing good there. Who is this guy? No hat. Yeah, yes, that's true. I forgot my hat today. I'm not even sure where it is, actually. It's probably somewhere around. All right. Shall we get into, without further ado, get in there, folks. If you've got any comments to make about TitanX, let us know in the ecosystem. Obviously, we've been covering that. It looks like we're getting a little bit of stuff around X1 and Zen. And things like that from slowly creeping up there. But maybe I thought we might get something in November. Maybe it's going to be more December. We shall see. Can't miss the bull market, though, can you? Can't miss the bull market. That's all we can say. Let's jump up to the top here. And I see that Solzen did mint out, right? Solzen had a little pump on Solzen once it finished mining. It was like a 100-day mining, was it? Something like that. That has definitely finished. It had a little pump and a little dump last time I checked. So there we go. Right, let's get into it. We're going to get into the markets for TitanX. So we got LegendX up 10% at the moment. Oh, there's been quite a retrace in the TitanX ecosystem. I think everyone can agree it's been quite a strong retrace after the 369 payout. Ahead of the US elections, the markets are down, and it's also come down there. Flux is up 7%. JKX is up, number 3 is up 2.5%. Inferno is up 1.9%. So there's a little bit of gainers there. And Janus, which is the Pulsechain one, from Helios Dev, the dude, is up 0.5%. So there are a bit of green candles on the daily. Everything else is pretty much in red. The Element 280 is in red, down 1%. So you can see all that. Volt, which has been the top performer, is down 3% today. Looks like it's eased off with the selling. Had quite a bit of selling coming in from Lotus. So, yep, that kind of had that. People were making really good gains on the miners. That seems to have tapered off. I think we're still supposed to be expecting decent supply coming out from Lotus miners the next day or two. But, of course, there's been some contract issue there. I haven't seen the latest update on that. But that is apparently they had a space on that. And everyone seems to be reasonably happy with that as far as I can tell. Let us know in the chat if you're up to date with that. Pulsar down 3% there. ADNX down 3.5%. TitanX as well. Now, TitanX obviously is the mean of exchange. That's the one we're really watching. And it is actually broken through the 1,000 line here. So it's back in the 6 zeros, just 6 zeros, 9970 there, just below 5 zeros. So, yeah, it's testing the support again on the old TitanX. Now, obviously, we are waiting for the X28 to come up. Let's have a quickly talk about that. We're waiting for hyperdeflation, so that is what we're looking forward to this month. I think Pulse was supposed to be out. I think it's already come out, so I might delete that. I'm pretty sure Pulse was come out there. And then a scale is coming up for Baby Dragon X on the 5th. So if you got that, then you maybe be part of the snapshot too. If you had Dragon X, I think you get a bonus for that, don't you, with the scale? So it's coming up. And then we've got the big news for Volt, right, coming up there. The Volt pillar, Viper. It's going to be Dragon X. I think it has a 5% burn for Dragon X in it. And the input token is Dragon X. You need Dragon X to go into Viper. It's going to have the new technology, the Nexus Tech buy and burn on top of the Volt buy and burn. I'm just trying to remember the name of that. Actually, just forgotten it, but off my head. And then will we get X28? So we know we're going to get the last big 400 billion candle coming out for TitanX. We can see that, I think, on the chart down here. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got this chart coming up here. This is one here. So this is the last one on the 8th of November. This chart right down here is the last 400 billion candle. In fact, we've got nothing else is coming out at the moment over 400 billion. So this is the last 400 billion, and then we just drop off. Basically, there's nothing left. I mean, look at it. There's nothing left after it. After that candle, just nothing there. So that is when we are going to get hyperdeflation starting. We've got all these buy and burns operating, right? All these projects coming. And in particular, at the moment on Volt ecosystem is we've got the Pillar, the Viper, and then maybe a week later, we've got all these other ones going to be launching, right? Turbo on Hyper. So Hyper doesn't have a protocol at the moment. We've got inflation coming out, so Hyper's going to get a benefit from this. Bull, we're going to have it for Inferno. So Inferno's getting another project that's going to help buy and burn Inferno. Xara for Lotus. So Lotus is going to get some love here from the looks of it, assuming there's no further issue with the Lotus contract. And then what else? And then we're going to have gold for Element 280. Looking forward to that. And Awesome V as well. It's going to be Awesome X Beast for Hydra. Now this is the two leverage plays, right? The two mining is the Hyper and the Hydra. They're both going to get a protocol with the pillars. And of course, all these are going to benefit Volt, right? All going to benefit Volt with the perpetual auctions. So excited about that because that's going to boost the buy and burn, right? So it's going to be great to see. And having these two layers of buy and burn is going to be really fun within the pillars. You got Aeon for Ouroboros. Now, obviously, we're looking for Ouroboros possibly launching in November, being on testnet. That's going to be massive. That's a massive supply sink, potentially also a big demand as well. We'll have to wait and see, question mark over that. Don't know how it's going to compare to liquidity forks, which are very weak actually on the buying demand. That's why I've been so bullish about PUSD Algo, because I think that's going to enable a bigger share of the stablecoin to go and be buy pressure. So yeah, and that's really where the scalability issue comes in as well, and what they call the stablecoin trilemma. And so yeah, let's see where we go there with that. But yeah, Ouroboros there, the big DeFi to come, and looking forward to where that will go. Be supply sync and potentially some more buy pressure there, and multiple tokens, right? Multiple tokens. We've got Farmer A, which I love the name of Farmer A. You gotta love the name of Farmer A. I just love that, right? And of course, we saw Rag to Riches on the show with Eric and Farmer A there for Tink Farm. Now, Tink Farm, the farm, Titan Farm, best farm on the planet. I mean, in crypto. So we're getting so much leading innovation in the TitanX ecosystem. It's mind blowing, and they've really made ROI protocols way more wider accepted within DeFi generally. So yeah, it's been quite special. They're having these DeFi protocols with innovations that we haven't seen before also matching with ROI protocols, right? So it's been pretty cool. Zion for Morpheus, obviously Rad Rich's project. Morpheus doing a great job there, also benefiting DragonX. DragonX has got so many different projects supporting it now. It's pretty awesome. And we know that Eric was talking about, if you're going to do more projects, start focusing on Tink now for the Tink farm. Keep the ROIs up, track more capital, thicken up the capital, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's a really bonus there. Surge on Vault, of course, I'm looking forward to that. Love Vault, Vault from, of course, Stevie DeFi. That's what this whole vision is for Stevie DeFi there. And arguably the most innovative dev in the space, I think, and potentially, may get the crown for. We'll see how we get through these visions. They are experimental, as DVD would say, but the next is buy and burn. I think it's going to do some pretty cool things on top of the Vault buy and burn. We've got Mystery, that one there as well. So we're looking for that protocol coming up, and I think that's going to be for Christmas, if I remember rightly. So stay tuned for that. Now, obviously, later on after that, we're going to have the Vault Wheel. And that's going to basically be fed in by TitanX. So all these other pillars all require the input token for the project, like Viper requires DragonX, but the Vault Wheel, just like Vault itself, is going to require TitanX, and that's going to feed all these pillars and make them just go faster and bigger. So I'm really excited about that. These pillars themselves get bigger. The more people that go in there, they have bigger impacts as they circle around. It takes up to 4 days to get them loaded and complete for the first round, and it just keeps going and going and going. So really excited about where that's heading. And so we know we've got the last 400 billion candle on the 8th. We've got Viper coming. We've got X28 potentially could launch on the 8th. That'd be pretty crazy. I'm not expecting the V1 pool to be operating, but X28 could be amazing, and that could eat up a lot of the rest of the TitanX. Now, if it doesn't launch on the 8th of November, along with that last 400 billion TitanX candle, it could launch at the end of November, maybe beginning of December. That would be another place it could go. And we can see that by the time we get, into the end of November, we've got basically nothing at all. I mean, we've got hardly anything coming out after the 11th, but really there's basically nothing. So it's going to be pretty awesome. And of course, what does that mean? It means that with all these other protocols coming, and let's have a look at all the protocols that are coming. The list gets longer and longer. This is like CoinGecko done right? We've got upcoming projects here. Look at Scale, USDX there, all coming up. In fact, Scale's now got a timer on it. So 1 day, 17 hours and 25 minutes to go. Looking forward to that. We got USDX from Ouroboros with the stablecoin and the lending, multiple collateral. So you'll be able to use all sorts of stuff that's up here in the existing protocols to go and collateralize and get some stablecoin and go potentially either earn some yield or go and buy more of the good stuff in TitanX. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. Look at all these projects coming. The Matrix, looking forward to that. That's going to be on Hyper, right, from Mike Dean. Looking forward to that one. We've got Warp and Wheel. Wheel, of course, is the one coming at the end of November. Looking forward to that. Viper, of course, coming up on the 8th. Excited about that. Phoenix coming up. Bull, Xaria, Gold, Turbo, Mystery, NFT, Alphax there, Awesome V, Draco, and of course the last couple of ones that have been added, I think overnight, were GoatX, number 21, Ascendant. I mean, that sounds pretty good name, right? And Flare 23. So welcome to the future of crypto. We've got futuristic names, and they're all looking pretty badass at the moment. Let's go a quick look at this Ascendant one. We haven't really looked at this one. So let's have a look at the page. Oh, they haven't got anything on there yet. That looks like it's just a landing page. But yeah, excited about where all this is going. Maybe they got something on the X profile. Let's have a quick look at that. Let's see, 229 followers at the moment. Ascendant is a fixed supply perpetual auction input token and NFT ecosystem built on DragonX with DragonX payouts. So there we go. I'm sure that's going to be a pretty popular protocol there. Nice. So that's some of the stuff there at the moment. All those protocols coming. We've got obviously hardly any supply coming out. We've got all these protocols launching, particularly on the vision for Vault, and it's going to be wonderful to see all this new technology play out. X28 is going to take, obviously, with the dominance of all these protocols, we're going to get more dominant on Ethereum, and then eventually go with X28. It's going to get rid of a lot of the TitanX supply as people then go omni-chain, right? So cross-chain, and you're going to have one supply of X28. It's going to be equivalent to TitanX, and of course, you're going to be able to play over in other chains, and particularly high-volume chains will be very, very good. We could see an expansion of the DeFi, right? Titan Farms going over there, all sorts of things onto other chains. We've already seen talks about that going to Pulsechain. We probably need proper volumes, not just proper volumes, but volumes that can be shifted into Titan Farms. So the Titan Farms ends up earning the fees for that. But yeah, lots of cool things. And of course, if we have protocols being built on top of Tink, then man, it's game on, right? So obviously we've got Farmer Aid coming up with the pillar. But imagine that we're getting all those, just taking over chain after chain after chain with this quality DeFi ROI, ecosystem that TitanX offers. Really is exciting where we're heading there. So going to be really fun. I'm very bullish on Hyper and the Hydra. Obviously, we've got projects like Matrix and Phoenix coming, Drogon as well for Hyper. We've got projects like Draco and, of course, Beast coming for Hydra, and I'm sure there's more. We're going to have more projects coming for Tink that's going to keep the yield up on the Titan Farms. I'm excited about that too. So let's jump over to Tink and have a quick look at the Tink farms, because the yields have been doing pretty well, even with the pullback in the market. I know a lot of people are in there. Yeah, you're basically putting in the farm hyper-deflationary tokens, and you're earning some good income there, right? So at the moment, you got the DragonX Hydra at 295%. In fact, I think we're almost through the local inflation for Hydra. So we're probably going to have a bit of easing off now with slightly lower days coming out. We've already gone through the 80 billion day of Hydra, I believe. So yeah, contract days 28, I think. We must be pretty close to that. And that means that we're probably through that initial inflation. Then next 4 weeks is kind of tapers off. So that's going to be interesting to see the DragonX Hydra ratio and the farm yields there. Yeah, but looking pretty good. 176% for TitanX. We've got 265% for Hyper TitanX at the moment. 176% for Wrapped ETH TitanX. And we've got 234% for Vault Lotus at the moment. Those are some of the bigger yields on there. The burn at the moment, 251,000 Tinks have been burned. $382,000. We've got almost 2 million Tink in circulation there. 2 million in supply with 1.8 million in circulation. And of course, we know a lot of those are sitting in this farm over here. 2.4 of those in over here. Just under 1.6 million of those tokens are in the Tink farm. So exciting times. The buy and burn's been operating like a boss, and of course, the bigger the volumes, the more it's going to be burning, right? So at the moment, we've DragonX has burned 122 million DragonX, 6.3 billion Hydra, 7.5 billion Hyper. So they're getting burned off here as well. The Tink's obviously burning with Tink. We got the TitanX at the moment sitting on $76,000 worth, 76 billion TitanX to buy and burn Tink with TitanX. We've got the buy and burn Tink with the Wrapped ETH as well. And then we got the burn Vault with buy and burn Tink. So that's in there as about, well, at the moment, $8,500. So things are really evolving really, really nicely and looking good there. All right, so that is where we're at the moment with all these projects. I think it's pretty exciting. TitanX, of course, is the medium of exchange. Let's hide these protocols here and see where the chart is just going there at the moment. Yeah, definitely a retrace on the chart. Let's auto log that one too. And we can see, yeah, really bouncing off this area at 5 zeros to 6 zeros. And we've got some bullish stuff coming up on the 8th of November, potentially X28. I don't know, we'll see. And of course, Viper coming out there with DragonX. And in a couple of days, we've got day and a half, we've got the scales for Baby DragonX coming out. So, and it's just the beginning. November is looking hot for protocols. It's going to be really, really bullish to see that. Now, let's jump in here. I think we've got, we're going to get into some of the politics. Let's have a look who else has jumped in the chat. We've got Brian in the house there. What's up, folks? Hey, good to see you, Brian, our community leader, of course, in Discord. Big shout out to Brian. We've got Rags to Riches in the house there. Hey, Suit Man. Hey, good to see you, Rags. I was just making some nice comments about you earlier in the show. So big shout out for all the streams and development you are doing over in TitanX as well. Doing great job. Great job with that. Woohoo! Hedgehog in the house. Hey, good to see you, Hedgehog. What else there? We've got any other comments there? Definitely a build the tech revolution, says Expat. Absolutely. I'm really excited about the pillars and to see them operate. And of course, how that's going to impact the Vault and the buy and burn for Vault with 11 protocols, something like that for that. And then get the wheel at the end of the month. Man, it's going to be fun. See that play out. We've obviously seen some volatility with Vault, with Lotus lately. But yeah, excited where that all heads. Now, I wanted to go to the US elections, so we're going to do that. I think that's my general coverage of TitanX. I'm not going to go to any of the influences at the moment, but I did want to talk about where the election is at. So let's get into that. Where's my screen going? Oh, there it is. Bam. All right. We got this poll out. So this is Colin Rudd. Many of you guys may follow if you follow politics and stuff. He's got here Atlas Intel, the most accurate pollster of 2020, releases their official swing state poll showing Donald Trump leading in every swing state. Now we've covered this before with Real Politics, right? So we've been in here, looking at the polls and covering that stuff. But here's the latest one. The poll shows Trump leading in Arizona and Nevada by a very comfortable margin. We've got North Carolina, Trump up plus 3.4%. Georgia, Trump up 2.5%. Arizona, Trump up 6.5%. Nevada, Trump up 5.5%. Wisconsin, Trump up to 1 point there. Michigan, Trump up 1.5 points. And Pennsylvania, which is, one of the tougher states there, but they've been doing good work there, getting favorable momentum up 1.8%. So Atlas Intel also sees Trump leading nationally by 2 points. So Trump is looking very good. And honestly, this is a bit of a sigh of relief. Now, obviously, the cheating and all of the tactics that we know Democrats love to do, they've been trying to rig the election through the census. They're trying to rig elections through the southern border, importing, 12 to 18 million people just in the last couple of years, almost 3.5, 4 years. And they've got many other tricks that they've been trying to use at state level, flooding red states and all sorts of stuff to try and make permanent power in the U.S. election system. So really is a big deal. And of course, Rags has been out there in Texas trying to do, maybe secede the state. And I know other states were thinking about it as well. I think if you're in a red state, there's probably an option that will come up if they did get to seize permanent power. Because basically if they set it up so that way, you're going to be pretty much done for, right? Doesn't mean you're going to get a bit of variability around the Senate. Every year, 2 years, the Senate, third of the Senate gets up for grabs, and of course the Congress as well. So you've got to, hopefully they do well on all three parts of the government, and we get Trump Republican control there. Now the good thing, of course, over the last sort of 8 years, Trump has managed to get quite a few of the uni parties out there. We've still got some problematic people in the Republican Party, like Mitch McConnell and others like that do deals in New York, and things like that. So we've still got some issues there, but they have managed to get rid of quite a few over the last 8 years or so. Now, the other thing, of course, is Trump's got the dream team, right? Trump has got the dream team. Elon Musk, Vivek, there's a bit of a dream team coming together. They are more moderate. So if you're a conservative, they're probably not quite conservative enough, but they are fairly, I would say, conservative, moderate hybrid, which may get more of the middle ground voter, right? The middle ground voter, that's what you would need to win. Obviously, in the United States, you've got what they call blacks and the Hispanic class. They're moving over to momentum over to Trump, particularly men, right? Men. And as I've said many times in the past, love women to bits, but women are actually voting to destroy the West because they're voting for progressives, and of course they are easily affected more by emotional things and emotional propaganda compared to men who are somewhat more logical, more even from that point of view. So it is, and ironically they're the biggest victims, right? So from all the progressive policies, women are the biggest victims, and actually seem to be voting for it in the majority. So it is ironic from that point of view. So what happens when evil comes? Good men have to stand up to evil men, right? So that's the play. So this is what this battle is about. I think it's more a central battle here, good versus evil, not just Republican versus Democrat. And of course, it's good to have that cleansing in both parties, right? We want to get rid of the uni party and get some back to freedoms, back to basics, protect the Constitution. Man, I wish we had the Constitution in our country. It would have given us a lot more protection that we had, particularly through the lockdowns and other things like that. We saw some radical policy positions. So they lock you down, you see, they do very, very tricky, and then they run through a whole ton of laws. And when they go to select committees, they basically just run them through. They don't really listen to what you say because they're just trying to get radical laws passed so they can change society in their abominational image there. So there we go. That is some of my thoughts on that one. Really, if you're not protecting freedom, man, it is a bloodbath to try and get it back. So you've got to head it off before it happens, right? Very, very important that. All right, so this is where we're looking at the moment. Look at those red states there, Nevada, Arizona, are looking pretty good. And so maybe we might even get some more surprises. Who knows? In some of the blue states, maybe we might do. Who knows? And of course, only Wisconsin and Minnesota there are looking pretty red too. Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia are very important. Those are all one, right? And America is saved. The world is saved because we will face the carnage down under here in New Zealand as well. It is a big, big deal, this election. So yeah, some pretty positive stuff there. Even Trump managed to post this out, Harris versus Trump in swing states. So looking pretty good there, over 50% for most of these, and Trump favor for all of them. So pretty bullish there. We've even got some great undersides in the middle there. So no doubt some of they will go to red, some of those. So yeah, this was the last poll there from Atlas Intel, who apparently predicted the last election, with its riggingness yesterday. Now, I was watching the US election last time, and when they shut down the battleground states, I went, oh my gosh, they're just cheating right in the open. It's so bad. And of course, as far as I understand, it never had happened before. And of course, the media just made out it was like business as usual, even though it took days and days and days to get the results. And the results were flipped the next day, right? So the winners were flipped. And of course, if you've seen the chart, it's very vertical. It suddenly goes boop. So it just looked completely set up. And we saw this in Latin America, right? Similar polling there going there. All right. What else we got in the chat there? Get us in the chat there if you got any thoughts on that, on your selection. And if you've voted, you can get on that too. Brian says, Harris having a special election day Wednesday. All her supports should wait till then. Just saying. What's it? Smart versus do, not smart. Oh, actually. What else we got there? Harris having a special... Oh, Hex, are you even repeating what you're saying there? What is that? Yeah, I think that's it. No more other comments on that one. So that is some of the polling there. Going to look for it. It is a big, big deal. I cannot say it enough. The US election, big for freedom, big for crypto. Man, do you really want to live in a police state run by these Democrats who are full of Marxists, full of globalists? They only have control in their eyes. And, of course, there's a ton of them are narcissists and a ton of them are up to all sorts of deviancies. Man, it's going to be bad. They're after your children. They're after your freedom. They just want you to be consumers and controlled. And, of course, they're going to, rejig identities and all sorts of things, both horizontally and laterally there. So really, this is crucial. Now, unlike when Trump got on the first time, he was too soft on the deep state, and he will have to go hardcore, which means that he's going to have the right people in place for that. So, yeah, we shall see where that all heads. But he has got the dream team. I think the marketing has been amazing. The social media has been amazing this time. Joe Rogan podcast and things like that. So I think they've done everything right. The McDonald's McTrump burger at the McDonald's, that was just absolutely viral and awesome. And of course, also the dump truck, right? The dump truck was amazing. So I think these guys have had a pretty dream run there as well. Yeah, it's been pretty exciting. All right, so that is some of the cool stuff happening there. Now you can find out more details, of course, in Real Clear Politics. They have lots of stuff here on the US election, Trump versus Harris, latest poll results, etc. So you can check that all out. I'm not sure if they got any on. So look at the one there. So yeah, it looks like we got a toss up here. This is their version. Everyone's got their own version of this map, right? But at the moment, it's got Trump Vance 219 versus Harris Walz with 108 toss ups. That's currently the one on this one. Now you can find lots of different versions of this, but that is where we are at the moment. So fingers crossed, everything looking good. The turn of this red, exciting. All right, I think that's it on that one. 48 minutes. We did a pretty good job, I think. We talked to lots of stuff. X-Vader says McDaddy, McTrump. Hey, I would love to see a McTrump burger. Wouldn't that be cool? At McDonald's, that'd be pretty neat. All right, I think we're up to almost the time I was going to have for today's live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the coverage. We covered, the US elections coming up. We'll probably cover it again. I'm not sure if we'll be streaming tomorrow, but maybe the next day when the election's either on or hopefully got some outcome there. And, of course, we look forward to see what the crypto market does to that. Or we're going to start getting that parabolic for the bull market. That's going to be fun to see. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. Don't forget to join our Discord. The link's in the video description. It's only $5 a month to join our private Discord for Pulsechain and Hex. If you want to join our strategy club, that is $35 a month. Pretty good damn value for that. And, of course, the crypto bull market could be right upon us. Join up today, link there as well. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channels, we're streaming on 3 YouTube channels. Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain X, over 10,500 subscribers. So I do appreciate all the support from everybody. It makes a big deal If you leave any comments after the videos, of course, I'll respond to those as well. Was it? Brian says a T-Dog for the win. Absolutely. Express says Trump, the art of the deal. Harris, the art of the steal. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, art of the deal for Trump. The art of the steal for Harris. Yeah, fingers crossed, man. Oh, man, we've got to win. We've got to win. I cannot tell you how important this is. It is so important. All right. All right. Let's go. Let's go. I think we got any more comments? No, we got one more comment there. Let's see. We got the strategy club there. Yeah, join up today. That's the link there, and it's way better than Wookie's link apparently, which is probably true. All right. Nice one there. Take care. Catch you guys tomorrow. See you in Discord. And bye for now.